Ladies and gentlemen and ladies, ladies and gents. Hey, guess what? Now that I'm back, let's just say we pick up where we left off, shall we? Ladies and gentlemen and ladies and gents, I want to talk to you a little bit about some education. Because there is a setting out there that, since I've been gone, there's been a void. Yes, I'm stuck on myself. I have too much confidence in who I am as a person. So go back and watch all of those videos you all have been watching the last 22 months. And notice how nobody's been talking about anything of substance. People following QAnon. You people don't recognize AI technology when you hear it? Yes, QAnon. Use of AI technology and AI manipulation. How do we know this? Well, we know it basically simply by what they did. They caused a lot of people to believe in nothing. They took the information that you heard myself and others talking about, and they just added a couple of things to it. You know, there is this thing about Sandy Hook, and I'm not gonna get on Sandy Hook. Whether it happened or not happened, we ain't talking about that stuff. We are talking about how the fact that nobody paid attention. There was a young man. His name was Noah, and Noah's father. I send my condolences to him and his wife and his brothers, Noah's brothers and sisters, for the fact that that young man was taken down and short in life, as well as to all the other families who lost their children and the adults who may have died in that. I don't know all of the people who died at Sandy Hook or the other school shootings. School shootings, yeah, they do happen. We know they happen because we've seen the pictures. They weren't make-believe pictures. We've seen the people taking photos. The problem is we have some incidents where they do bring actors in. They do that intentionally so that when you bring it up, you sound crazy. Ladies and gentlemen, pay attention. Then we're going to move on to my subject. The young man Noah's picture was shown before a national audience and then an international audience 2 years later, when there was a bombing over in Afghanistan and over 100 children lost their lives. There's a big, huge photo blown up of Noah being shown. Why? The other children's photos weren't being shown, just his. Why? Pay attention, ladies and gentlemen. Notice what's going on. Because they knew that somebody would recognize that American kid over in Afghanistan. That's why. And they knew that eventually somebody would put the twos and the twos together and they would come up with, aha! Okay? So some people saw that, and instead of realizing that that was a plant, that was done intentionally, because who in Afghanistan is going to take and spend the money to blow up a picture, because they don't have the technology running around in those villages over in Afghanistan that you think, because Afghanistan has been experiencing war since 2011 and 2001 and 2004, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and so, ladies and gentlemen, who would go to the expense of blowing up the picture to the size that was being displayed before an international audience? No, not a local audience, an international audience. Pay attention. That's called manipulation. There's only one organization on this planet who operates that way, and all the other organizations take after it. Nasara? No, I'm not saying that. CIA? No, I'm not saying that. Am I 5? Am I 6? Am I 7? Am I 8? Am I 15? I'm not saying none of that. I am trying to let you know that it adding up. Look, I always have said if it doesn't make logic, it doesn't make sense. So what was his picture doing in Afghanistan? During a bombing and killing of 100 kids, to cause exactly the effect that it had. They run it through an algorithm, an AI algorithm. They don't do anything anymore without running it through an AI algorithm. Look at January 6th. That's the biggest AI algorithm junk that I've ever seen. Wanting everybody to believe that it was the so-called Trump supporters who were invading and seditioning. Believe what you believe. Keep listening to the news. They are telling you the same story day after day after day after hour after minute, the same exact story. Why? Because they're creating a narrative. So if you want to believe that, you knock yourselves out. Look, we're going to talk about something because, you see, what is a tax impact of writing off a bad debt? Now, they're going to tell you all the bad things it is for you. One of them is even going to say how you still have to pay that debt once they write it off. Man, watch this. How to claim a bad debt expense deduction. If your business uses accrual methods, yes, the accrual method is how you operate. Many of you don't know that, so just go ahead and get a copy of the manual, GAAP, General Acceptable Accounting Principles, and you will see it for yourself. Taxable income, deduct the expense collection, blah, blah, blah. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't want to talk about none of that. There was a particular page I had it on, and now it is this page, but it's up higher. It's over here with this IRS and stuff. See, it says creditor may send your charge off to the IRS if the debt is canceled. In their accounting documents, they've written the account off as uncollectible. Now, if they've written it off as uncollectible in their accounting practices so that they can do what? Well, so that they can write it off and receive benefits. That's right. You accept the benefits of something, then you are accepting liability of something. So they write it off so that they can accept the benefits to reduce its taxable liabilities. That means that they receive some type of compensation. So they must reduce the amount that you are supposedly owing. And if they have discounted it, then they must discount the amount you owe. So ladies and gentlemen, stop lying down and letting somebody say you owe a debt. If you see a charge off on any bill, it means that they received credits, taxable credits. I've been saying this since 2000 and, well, man, I've been saying it since 1998. But I've been shouting it on YouTube since 2009. And nobody's paying attention. So I'm hoping you're going to pay attention now. Okay, we're going to take that IRS one down here. Hold on. Oh, I'm not trying to do that, y'all. It's this particular mouse is sensitive. So I'm not trying to do the other thing. I'm trying to do that thing right here. This thing. See that right there? Topic number 453. So I want you to go to irs.gov. Okay, this is their tax topics. 453. Let's go there, shall we? Now this video is going to be short because I got to go. I got some egg rolls that's on the roll. My egg rolls are on the roll. Oh God, he is just so amazing. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, yes, I haven't changed. I told you I wasn't going to change. Okay, if someone owes you money and you can't collect, pay attention. Ladies and gentlemen, this is from the IRS website. Wait, hold on. I want y'all to pay attention a little bit better because we need to. Too much. We went too far. If someone owes you, Tommy, Mary, hey, Susan, I'm talking to y'all. If somebody owes y'all some money and you can't collect, it says you may have that bad debt. You see, you may have it. You got it. You got bad debt. Doesn't mean you got bad debt. It means that debt that they owe you is now a debt owed to you. It's a bad debt because you can't collect on it. Okay. For discussions of what constitutes a valid debt, refer to publication 550. Investment income and expenses, and publication 535. Business. But pay attention. They're not talking about businesses. They're not talking about investments here. They said if someone owes you, the common taxpayer. Excuse me 1 second. I got to take this call. Y'all don't mind? Sorry, y'all. My egg rolls, they were ready, and I'm going to let them cool off. Although I want to eat them now, I'm going to put my food that I've been waiting for, mouth watering, I'm going to put it on hold. That's right, I'm put it on hold. Put it on hold just for y'all. I'm going to show y'all something. I want y'all to pay attention. This you that they're speaking of is not business people, because you don't refer to a business as a you. Y'all pay attention now, because I don't think y'all are hearing me. They're not talking to businesses. They're referring to businesses down here. See, referring to businesses down here. They ain't referring to businesses up here. See, if you want a discussion of what constitutes a valid debt, a valid debt? Lord, hold on. I want y'all to understand something, because see, sometimes people don't believe me. So we're going to go the 14th Amendment of the United States Constitution. We can go to section number 4. Y'all don't mind? We're going to go to 14th Amendment, Constitution, section number 4. Now, it ain't of the Constitution because there ain't no amendments after number 10. Don't y'all even think about challenging me on that, because I can prove there ain't no amendments after number 10 just by the preamble. But we ain't going to talk about that right now. Let's go here. We're going to go to the Constitutional Law Reporter. I don't know who they is. Never been there. So we might as well take a trip there, huh? And I assure you, I don't think I've ever been to this site before. If I have, I don't remember. It's the side effects of them coma vids. Come on now. Computer? Sorry, using a lot of resources. I don't see section number 4. Where y'all at? Amendment? Okay. Where's my section number 4? That's the preamble. Look, let's do this real quick. And I promise you it's going to be real quick, okay? So pay attention. We the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice. The courts don't establish justice. Who establishes justice? Follow this. We the people establish justice. We are the ones who are forming a more perfect union. To ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of freedom for ourselves and our prosperity. We ordain and establish this Constitution of the United States of America. Not only did they establish justice for the United States of America, but they ordained and established the Constitution to promote and ensure domestic tranquility, common defense of the common people of their common law rights, common law instrument, promoting general welfare, making sure all the people were taken care of. Welfare. The whole country's on welfare. If you pay attention to the Constitution, securing blessings of freedom. Not privileges, not benefits, but securing blessings of freedoms for themselves and their prosperities, because they ordain and they establish this Constitution. For what reason? For the United States of America. Now, as I said, you won't understand it until you go back and read it again. So I'm going to point it out to you. They established the Constitution as to take care of these common law rights. That's why the Constitution only documents common law rights. It is not the federal Constitution. Okay? It is the United States of America Constitution. Doesn't belong to the federal government. There is no such thing. Well, there's a separation between. No, because the Constitution and the Northwest Ordinance goes hand in hand, which made it necessary. Go ahead and look at the history. Every state must do not have a choice. Their first set of rights must be mirroring the Bill of Rights. If you don't believe me, go back and check it out. Because they were establishing common law for the United States. That's what they were doing. You don't believe me? Go back and look. I don't see. I know how to count. Oh, there it is. Oh, no, I'm not trying to do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Go back over here. We ain't trying to go to no other page. I want the 14th Amendment. So let's go section number 4. That's where we were going. I said I'm going to do this real quick, and I know it ain't been quick, but y'all just going to have to bear with me. Okay? Oh, I think, okay, that's what it is. It took, and it, no, they're explaining. I don't want, oh, okay, there it is right there. All right, let's make this bigger. It was already right here. I didn't even look. Because it said the preamble, I wasn't sure. All right, we're going to talk about this section right here, Okay, because we're talking about valid debt. Y'all thought I forgot, huh? I ain't forgot nothing. The validity of the public debt of the United States, authorized by law. Remember, all property of the United States, all property in the United States is the property of the U.S. government. The March 9, 1933 Act, just go back and look at the so-called congressional report, including debts incurred for payments of pensions and bounties for services in suppressing insurrection and rebellion shall not be questioned. Now, ladies and gentlemen, who can question the validity of a debt? Let's go ahead and, because that's, you must understand, that's the reason why Congress, no, I'm not looking for no bootable disk. Where is it? It's right here. So let's get back here. Generally, to deduct a bad debt, you must have previously included the amount in your income or loan out your cash. Excuse me. That's not true. See, pay attention to this word right here. This is the word they don't want you paying attention to. I want you to pay attention to this right here. If someone owes you a debt and you can't collect, you may have a bad debt. They say you may have. It ain't you may have, is you do have a bad debt. Watch this. If you're a cash method taxpayer, you don't want to be a cash method taxpayer, ladies and gentlemen. That's where the pitfall is. That's why it says generally. That's why they're using the word cash. Ladies and gentlemen, there's no such thing as cash in the law. Go ahead and look at any of the laws written by Congress and you will not see the word cash. Go ahead. Well, anyway, I gotta continue, y'all. We gotta get this going because my food is over there getting cold. You generally can't take a bad debt deduction for unpaid salary, wages, rents, fees. But ladies and gentlemen, if you use the accrual method of accounting, you can. Don't talk to me. Go and do your research for when and how you can convert from going from the cash method to the accrual method, because if you talk to the right tax person, talk to the right tax associate known as a CPA, you will find out that the accrual method is the method that government uses and all of the other agencies out there use it. It's only the people who are ignorant who don't use the accrual method. You talk to anybody at SATCOM and they will tell you that they keep hearing that word accrual method. Okay. For a bad debt, you must show that at the time of the transaction you intended to make a loan and not a gift. If you lend money to a relative or a friend with the understanding that the relative or a friend may not repay it, you may consider it a gift and not as a loan. Really? You must consider it as a gift, not as a loan. And you may not deduct it from your bad debt. Now, I want y'all to pay attention because I told you, you can't fault me. You can be mad at me. You may not like my personality. You may not even like my joking. You may not even like the music in the background. I don't care. But what you cannot debate is this right here. If someone owes you, and I haven't been to this page before, people. If somebody owes you money and you can't collect, you can write it off as a bad debt if you're using the accrual method. That's what they're not telling you. That's the caveat, so to speak. Now pay attention, because they make it seem like they're talking about businesses when they give this little statement here for a discussion. Yeah, you can be discussing whatever you want, because right down here, pay attention to who they're talking to. If you, who is you? The person who has a relative or a friend, because businesses don't have relatives and friends. Go back and check. Businesses do not have relatives and friends. So when I tell you before I even read it that it's talking about you and not talking about some stupid business, please understand that I will do my best to continue to bring you information and continue to point out the things in a legalese. Now here they are talking about business bad debt. So please go back up and read. So when we tell you, ladies and gentlemen, that those of you who have an arbitration award and an arbitrator is a judge, let's do that. I'm going to put that in here. We can get rid of the Constitution. And arbitra. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. Messing up. Because I want to eat. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, what I need you all to understand is some people are going to want to go out there and start their own arbitration associations. And there are a couple of arbitration associations that did get started. HMP, and there's another one. Forgot the name of the other one. Both of them did very bad because they did not do their own research. They just copied us. And I don't mind. I suggested that people should try starting their own arbitration association, but you can't just copy. This is a serious game. This is not a childish game. I was even trying to help them. Okay, but it was just too many people. See, we had people not waiting the 30 days. So in the coming days, I'm going to tell you how you should be processing arbitrations. We're going to talk about that. But there are going to be some other things that we're going to discuss, because if I'm going to keep giving you guys information that's going to help you, because I just gave you the information on how you can settle all your debts. Okay, just told you how you should be redoing your taxes for the last 7 years. All that money you've been loaning out to Uncle Tom, Ben, Bob, and all that, and you've been using the accrual method. They be writing down you've been using the cash method. You better learn about the accrual method and the cash method. Pay attention. Is an arbitrator a judge? An arbitrator takes an oath to be fair and impartial, to apply the law as do judges. However, arbitrators answer first and foremost to the parties and their businesses. Unlike a judge, an arbitrator who does a poor job in managing cases and deciding the law and facts will not be given more cases. That's not true. Arbitrators are given more cases. Why? Because the parties choose the arbitrator. Section 5 of the Federal Arbitration Act. Go ahead and look at it. Section 5 of the Federal Arbitration Act. See, they said that SAA is not a valid arbitration association. They didn't say that. They said it appears. You know what happens when somebody appears, huh? Somebody's a fool. It says it appears. So I just point out, you better go back and look at the Federal Arbitration Act. It ain't got nothing to do with appearances. It says the parties decide who the arbitrator is. See, pay attention. The parties may have some say in whether a case is heard by a judge or a jury. In arbitration, the two parties usually decide together to an arbitrator, unless the decision is specified in the arbitration clause of the contract. Ladies and gentlemen, that's Section 5 of the Federal Arbitration Act that's talking about. Now, when I stopped there, I wasn't looking at the screen when I was telling you who chose. I'm telling you I can quote Section 5 because that's what I went in to study. I know the case law involving that because that's what I was doing. Now, so since an arbitrator is a judge and its decisions, watch this. Arbitrator, come on now, straighten up. There's just so much that we got to talk about. Now, see, I said an arbitrator's decision is binding. Okay? Now, I said that. You heard me. I ain't make no mistake. Watch this. Arbitration is a private process where disputing parties agree that one or several individuals can make a decision about the dispute after receiving evidence and hearing arguments. When arbitration is binding, the decision is final and can be enforced by a court and can only be appealed on very narrow grounds. Ladies and gentlemen, what if you don't go to court? Then that debt is still valid. It's a binding decision, which allows you to write it off as a, can I hear you say it again? Because, Sonny, I'm getting what you're saying. I don't think they're getting what you're saying. You don't think they're getting what I'm saying? No, I don't think they're getting what you're saying. I'm on the wrong page again. I'll just keep turning to the wrong pages. You see, it's a bad debt. Y'all need to understand that. See, the business companies, they get to write off their bad debt because they know about using the accrual method. So y'all got some research y'all got to go do, okay? But some of y'all already ahead of the game. Oh, I think you done started something, boy. You gonna have all these people going out there just writing off everything. Writing off everything. What, you mean y'all didn't know y'all get to write off everything if y'all can do it right? If y'all do your math right? That's what Donald Trump been doing. Why you think they're going after his, trying to make him look stupid in front of all of y'all? I don't like Donald Trump. I can't stand the man. But the fact that he's been able to remain a bit, semi-billionaire all this time after all that, losing this and losing that, that means he must be doing something right. He lose something, he writes it off. Yeah, they ain't taking nothing from him. He just writes it off. Why you think he getting $77 million back from the IRS and they really don't want to pay him? But they ain't got no choice. Why? Because it's a write-off. It's called a charge-off. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is the last bit of advice I'm going to give all of you this evening before I take off, because this is only supposed to be short. If a bank, a credit card company, a car dealership, or a student loan company, go look at your tax report. Not tax report, your credit report. Ladies and gentlemen, pay attention. Credit sells to consumers. Go look at your credit reports. And if you see the word charge off on that report, or the word, which is its twin, write off on that report, that means they got paid, which makes it credit fraud if they knowingly did not deduct the amount they received in a credit to their account with the IRS and the U.S. government from what they claimed you owed. Once they do a write-off, that debt is canceled. They want you to believe differently, but don't take my word for it, take their words for it. It's called a bad debt. Now, look, bad debt. Bad debt. Okay, so they get a deduction. See? Generally, can't, but if they use the accrual method, can take a bad debt deduction for unpaid salaries, wages, rents, fees, interest, dividends, and similar items. You just got to learn the difference between the accrual method, and which is part of the general acceptable accounting principles, GAAP, fall into the gap, and the so-called cash method. Cash sounds good. Everybody wants cash, but you don't want to be cashing when you're dealing with taxing. Cash and tax don't go hand in hand. Cash is a benefit. You don't want to be using a cash method. That's a benefit method. That's a 14th Amendment citizen method. You don't want to be a 14th Amendment citizen. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's the information that you're receiving today. If you go and you research and you find that I'm wrong, then that means you're on the wrong planet, in the wrong dimension, in the wrong universe. And the lines that you see on your screen is being controlled by some other dimension that you are achieving before you reach senility, meaning dementia. So, I want to thank all of you. Like I said, nothing has changed. This information has always been here. I've been trying to tell it to you. I've been saying it for years. Now, some of you are going to go back and you're going to watch this and you're going to see for yourself. You're going to do your research and you're going to see when I tell you that by the simple fact that you sent a contract that was an attempt to recontract and it was ignored, and you covered all of the bases, which our contracts did, then you all right. You're going to make it through to the next day. Let's see. No, I can't go there. Give me a second. I'm going to open up one of these windows. This is going to be on Wondershare. I can't see my screen. I don't know if you guys can see it because the processor I'm using up, I'm doing videos and I'm talking. Yeah, that's data recovery. It's a program I just installed. What I want to show you guys is this. This is our cPanel. If any of you have ever had a website, ever dealt with a website, if it pops up, I don't know if it's going to pop up because, yeah, that I have a line on this side, so it's trying to refresh. It's so refreshing. I just saw the JavaScript thing right there. Okay, yeah, this is the program that you saw, but it ain't refreshing. Dang it, it's going to have me re-sign back in. No, what I wanted to show you guys is that on our website, they took down 40 gigabytes worth of programs. 40 gigabytes worth of, what is that I'm trying to think of documents. If you look at our PDFs and our document folders and things, there's nothing there. Even the contracts are all missing. We keep putting them back up and they keep deleting them. So it must let you know we're doing something right, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to keep following the law. We're going to keep helping you because that's what we're here to do. We're not here to help ourselves. There's too much of that going on in our world. We're not here to help ourselves. That's the problem with mankind right now. Everybody's selfish, only worried about themselves. We're not here to worry about ourselves. All of our defrauded homeowners of America people, I promise you, you are first in our mind. I just got off the phone today with talking to about 20 people, calling them back. One gentleman who had just done an arbitration, just received this award about a year ago. He emailed me while I was still on vacation, and I told my people to send me his information and I will call him the moment I had the opportunity. Well, it turns out he called me on the you know, I don't know my Google Voice number. Some of you have the Google Voice number, the one that ends in what is EEON 3353. Okay. No. I don't know what EON V3. It's like I forgot the number, and I'm sorry I can't remember the number to my Google Voice. That's a shame, isn't it? But it ends in EON V3. So that number that people were calling, that number is still good. My Google Voice number is still good. You can still call that if you want to make an attempt to try to reach me. Okay, I will make myself available if I can. But he called me, left a message, and I ended up listening to the message today, and I called him back. I didn't know it was the same person until I was speaking with him. We talked for about 15 minutes, but he was able to understand what to do with his, and I did tell him that videos like this will be coming out so that everybody understands. Eventually, you'll see a donate button on my site. Not a subscribe. I'm not doing a subscribe thing. I don't care. But if I'm going to take the time to do these type of videos and give you guys the information you want without holding back, then and point you in directions that's going to benefit you, then those of you who have asked me in the past, can you donate, can you give me, and I kept telling you no, well, sorry, I just don't have the ability of saying that anymore. After having COVID twice, I literally can't do it anymore. In other words, I can't put forth so much energy trying to take care of me and provide for you all at the same time. It's just not possible. So from time to time, that donate button will be up there for anybody who wants to help out on my end so that I can keep doing what I need to do for you all until we can get this tax refund stuff taken care of. Now, there are a lot of you out there who want to scam and scheme and get over. Please, you need to understand that's not going to work. You're just going to ruin it for yourself. You can't ruin it for everybody else. And the reason why you can't ruin it for everybody else, because these are the rules. See, the banks get to write off their debt, not because they're banks, but because of the method of accounting that they use. That's why that paragraph specifically mentioned you and not businesses. Then the second section talks specifically to businesses. So I want you all to pay attention so that you get this, because some of you are not getting it. In this country, doesn't matter what administration it is, there is this thing called equal protection of law. If they can do it, you can do it. You need to pay attention. If they can do it, you can do it. So that's how I knew that paragraph was a lie without reading on. Just by the fact they said it, you saw me stop. I hadn't read the paragraph before. I only did the video because I started to read the paragraph and I read those first 2 lines and then I stopped and I said, whoa, wait a minute, got to do a video. And thus the hasty nature of putting this out. We're at 34 minutes, 27 seconds, 29 seconds, 30 seconds. Anyway, you see how long it took us to get this information out. So look, if it was too much for you, I apologize. Go back and listen to it again so it can be too much again. And listen to it again so it'll be way too much. And listen to it again so you will have your fill. Why? Because if you pay attention to what's been said here, you will find that you are a lot richer than you thought. You have more money in your pocket today than you've ever had in your lifetime. Why? Because if you didn't count the monies that were lent out, those old money orders that you sent out, you didn't know about the money orders, huh? Being property, being value, they were trading them on the market. See, there's a lot you can do, but I'm going to tell you, don't get greedy. Don't get too technical, because if you get too technical, they will get even more technical, and you will lose. Keep it simple. We're reducing the amounts. When I say we, I mean me, myself, and I, because I put up the contract templates. That was me that did that. We're redoing the contract templates. Why? Because we're going to reduce the amounts to not something, so some people like to use the word reasonable. No, we're going to reduce the amounts to necessities. Being able to take care of your necessities and being able to make sure that the cessation of comping is necessary. So, with that being said, I just want to say thank all of you for, again, those of you who cared enough to care, I appreciate it. And those of you who cared enough not to care, I appreciate it. But whether you cared or not cared, I don't care. All right. Have a good day, everybody. Have a good night. Have a good life. It is 8 o'clock. I was about to say 10 o'clock because I'm so tired. It's time for me to go. Y'all have a good day. I'll be back soon. Oh, no, God. He's threatening us now, Mama. Adios.